Acción, tu revista mensual de cine y series, con los mejores estrenos de cine, fichas y reportajes coleccionables, series de televisión y 4 pósters todos los meses. Búscala en tu kiosco.
Hold on a second, buddy. Yeah, you know what? It's I get that. I can see as you begin to watch this, so you wonder who is this guy? But that's part of the joy of playing this role. And that was what was told to me from the beginning when I first met all the creative people that are involved with it. You know, John Lee Hancock in particular, who's one of our showrunners and creator of it. John Lee told me the first time I met him, I'm not looking for any sort of vampire that we might be used to or think about. First of all, he's an American guy who's over in London. He definitely has his own rhythm. I don't think he really cares what anybody else thinks. I don't think he cares what anybody thinks about the way that he dresses or, one of the first times that we see Jasper, when he's in his home, he's barefoot, he's got a t-shirt on, and so those are the pieces of the story that I found really exciting. Is the more the scripts came in and I kept reading about it, and I'm like, wow. But also too, getting back to your question, by the time, throughout the course of this first season, you do find out what's driving Jasper and why he's there and why it's important to him that you see his things that upset him, his anxieties, and the things that he wants to make right, because he really feels he was wrong.
I told you that because I watched a bunch of episodes of the first season, and as long as it
Did you watch all of them?
All of them, no. I think I'm on the 5th one.
Yeah.
Right now, and as we watched the show progress, I spoke with John Lee and Hancock in Malaga a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
He told me that there are no good guys, bad guys. There is a lot of gray in this show. And we learned that Talamasca maybe are not so good, and that Jasper maybe is not so bad.
That's true.
Why? How did you feel about that? About playing a character that in a show that has a lot of gray areas?
Well, I think it's what makes the show exciting. It's not black and white. I also think, listen, if I felt Jasper was a straight up bad guy, I don't think I played rough characters, but I don't think I ever read a script and decided to do something and was like, oh, this is a great bad guy, I want to play him. If I thought he was just a bad guy, I'm not so sure I know what to do with it. Do you twirl your mustache or you have to find what makes somebody tick. And Jasper certainly has a set of circumstances, in this world right now that are fueling him and driving him. That to me is really interesting. And John Lee said that that's what he wanted to do the first time I met him. And I really felt that he never lost sight of that.
What made you say that? What made you want to do this show that is part of a bigger universe?
Well, I've never played anything quite like this. It's not like playing a soldier or a police officer or an astronaut. It's, he bites people. Okay, so it's a little different. I find part of the joy of life and the different things that I'm grateful to get an opportunity to work on, take you new places that you haven't been. I've never been in a world quite like Talamasca in this Anne Rice universe. Is it different than Interview with a Vampire? For sure, even though I really, really loved the first 2 seasons of that show. I think the actors in it are amazing, but it's a different world, and it's a quiet world, and it's, as we were just talking about, it's a world that's, not everybody's being truthful. To me, exciting things happen in worlds like that. You don't know where the next turn is going to come, and I really think it comes through in the first season of this show. You don't know episode to episode. Actually, to the point where I think that each episode of the first season could almost kind of be standalone a little bit. They're as the season picks up, all of a sudden you start to understand one has to do with the beginning of, the end of one, the beginning of another. But they definitely go in directions that I did not expect.
It's also a show that sometimes goes really, really bad. It goes to really dark places and it becomes really dark. So how's been that breaking that for you?
You mean the character?
The whole show is going, sometimes it looks fun and almost like a detective story for some episodes, and sometimes it goes really dark with the character, with your character in particular. So how's been that breaking that for you?
It all comes, it's not a matter of something goes dark or light or humorous or something. It's just, is it part of the storytelling? If it gets dark, I don't mind. Listen, Jasper has a moment where he turns the corner. It's fueled by being upset. He looks at our lead character, the character of Guy. This is not a spoiler alert, but he looks at him in one of these episodes, and he says to him, I don't lie to anybody, and I don't want to be lied to, and that is Jasper. Jasper may be the only one who doesn't lie. He speaks the truth, and he feels that when someone is not honest with him, boy, he can turn a corner real quick.
Maybe they are the only characters in this show that tells what is the truth. Thank you so much, sir, and congratulations.
Thanks, man. Thanks for stopping by.
I want to ask just one favor. I'm a huge fan of it.
Acción, tu revista mensual de cine y series, con los mejores estrenos de cine, fichas y reportajes coleccionables, series de televisión y 4 pósters todos los meses. Búscala en tu kiosco.